Enterprise World's YouTube channel. Today, we are thrilled to welcome Eugene Lebedev, an entrepreneur and data analytics expert with a passion for technology and business. From organizing events at the University of Surrey to managing operations at a startup recruitment agency, Eugene's journey led him to specialize in data analytics. After earning his master's in business analytics, he worked as a Power BI data analyst at Autodesk before launching Vidi Corporation Limited, a UK-based consulting providing Power BI, Power Apps, and automation solutions. With over 500 successful projects for clients like Google and American Express, Eugene is transforming the data analytics landscape. In this interview, we'll explore his entrepreneurial journey, expertise in Power BI, and the vision for the future. Welcome, Eugene.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our absolute honor to have you on here with us today. So, my first question to you is, can you introduce yourself and give a brief overview of your background, about your professional journey, and the timeline that you've had so far?
Sure, yeah. So I'm originally Russian. I came to the UK when I was 16. So I finished school here, university. I worked for a little bit, and yeah, now I'm doing my own company. I'm a British citizen as of 2 weeks ago, so I'm really happy about this.
Congratulations.
Um, Yes, thank you. So I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My dad has a commercial real estate business, and my mom also never worked for anyone but herself in her life. So she had multiple businesses, and yeah, and then I have a younger sister who started working for herself even earlier than me. So she's quite big in social media, and yeah, so basically everyone in my family was working for themselves, and it's like I was kind of looking up to them. So it was important for me to start my own venture as well. So I graduated in 2019, which was probably the best time to graduate, just before COVID. And yeah, so in the university, as you said, I was trying to be active. I was a president of like the Russian speaking society. I was organizing events, doing unpaid internships, and I helped a friend with a recruitment startup. So I was essentially like finding people to work for local hotels, restaurants, and it basically helped me to understand what it's like to run an agency. And then at the same time, I was doing masters in business analytics, and then I got my first job as a data analyst in Autodesk, and it just got me the analytical skills that I needed. And then I thought to myself, I know how agencies work. I have data analytics skills, so why don't I try like a data analytics agency? And uh, so I started doing it as a freelancer during COVID. Pretty much everything I could do was just work because it was during lockdowns. And yeah, for a bit of time, I had two jobs: my job at Autodesk and also like running a data analytics agency. But yeah, eventually I switched full time into this. So that's basically how I got here.
Congratulations. I think that's been a path-breaking journey for you. So, yeah, kudos
Yeah.
on achieving such great milestones. So,
Mm.
as a leader, what are the core values that guide your leadership style?
Um, yeah, I would say first of all, so the most important thing for me is that we deliver quality work to a client, and it's um, I have several parameters for how I think about quality. So obviously the technical specification needs to be completed. But um, apart from that, I think um, for example, speed of execution is really important. So I want the gap between my clients us telling what they need and them receiving value from our projects to be as small as possible. So we try to, like when I manage my team, I really try to do what I can to speed up the execution process. So that basically means including them on the call from beginning, making sure they understand the context and not just work off like technical specification. Um, yeah, and like minimizing the number of revisions for me, that's also quite important. Um, but yeah, I would say responsiveness is another like big value for me. So what when dealing with a professional service provider, there's nothing more frustrating than they just not replying to your emails. Yeah, I just I try to stay looked into most of the conversations that are happening between us and the clients, and yeah, if I see that um, we over reply to somebody, then I just make sure to bump it up to my team. But yeah, at this point, they also, I think they also share my values. So I don't have to like be as involved in like communicating them on a daily basis. So yeah.
That's excellent. So, as a founder, you have to constantly be on your toes with all of the industry trends, with what's coming up, and you're actively
Yeah.
involved in understanding how technology is evolving and how businesses are thriving. So, my next question to you aligns with it, that how do you sort of stay ahead of industry trends and ensure that your company remains innovative?
So we are a Microsoft partner, and like Microsoft partner program is like a good way, I think, to stay on top of everything that's happening. So um, they basically release new updates to partners a little bit beforehand, and also um, uh, So Microsoft provide consultancy on the technical implementations of solutions. So essentially, yeah, for us, Microsoft partnership has been quite helpful. We ensure that we stay innovative by basically investing more into one particular initiative in our business. It's the data connectors to different data sources. So it's it's a data platform that is built on Microsoft technologies. It helps businesses to extract data from QuickBooks Online, Xero, ClickUp, so all the popular third-party software that small businesses use around the world. So um, yeah, we basically there are not many agencies that provide software. So software companies usually don't do consultancy. But we try to kind of bridge that gap. We try to provide the data to our clients. We're trying to consult our clients on how to get value from the data that they're extracting. So yeah, this way we're trying to bridge this gap between just data being extracted and like business value. And a lot of um, a lot of companies who do data connectors, they just return the data in the format that they extracted. But that leads to a lot of data transformation work for the end customer. So that's one of the challenges we're trying to solve. We actually transform the data before returning it to the client. So um, uh, yeah, essentially, they can take the data that we're returning to them and just build their data solutions on top of it with minimum need for data transformation. So yeah, I would say that's how.
That's fantastic. So you've had this long career journey. You've worked quite a bit. Well, you've also worked in a startup. You've also done the university level projects. So, what are some of the highlights that you've had in your career, like some significant milestones or achievements that you are very proud of?
Yeah, so I think um, when I was working for Autodesk, the one thing I was proud of, so I developed a Power BI dashboard that went to the C-suite of Autodesk. So I had the CEO and CFO in my distribution list, and I was sending them the analysis from my dashboard and the dashboard itself every day. So that was probably my biggest project there. Another big milestone is just transitioning from full-time employment into like a self-employed position. Like working in a recruitment agency kind of showed me what it's like to be a startup where you're not really making any money for the first maybe 9 months to well, 9 to 12 months. So I mean, I knew that the point where I could make a living from it would come eventually, but it's like working through that period where you put a lot of effort and you're not seeing like immediate results. I think like that's very important. I think um, yeah, I would say like every year we work with some big projects that also excite me. My first enterprise level project was for Google. So they were fined in the European Union. They were fined about 100 million euros, I think, for missing a piece of legislation that came out. And they started gathering data on every legislation in every country, how it's impacting all the products. So they wanted an analytics solution to stay on top of all the legislation that was coming out. So I was responsible for building that tool. And that was one of the projects that made me think quite a lot on how do I measure a problem and how do I present it in a way that um, my users understand what I'm trying to communicate. So that's that was quite a big project. The following year, we worked with Teleperformance, which is a big company with 400,000 employees. So we built a dashboard to measure the impact of their marketing department on overall sales of the company. Um, the year after, we worked with the UK Ministry of Defense. So we uh, built a system for them to request contractors from all of their providers and a system for providers to suggest candidates for the roles that were requested. So yeah, I would say big projects like that are um, key milestones for me.
That's fabulous. So Eugene, you're quite well aware and averse with the current situation in your industry. So, what do you think are some of the emerging trends or technologies that you believe will have a significant impact in the industry in the upcoming time?
Probably the rise of AI is very much talked about. Microsoft, so as a Microsoft partner, like I'm thinking about it from perspective of working in Microsoft technologies. They released Microsoft Fabric recently, which is like an AI-powered cloud platform. And I think it will have big impacts eventually. Right now, it's making um, big impact on enterprise level clients. So it's not really widely adopted by smaller businesses yet, but I think eventually it will be more designed for businesses of all sizes. But it greatly reduces the number of working hours that as a data analyst you have to put into your projects. So if you have access to it, for example, formatting your dashboards is a lot quicker. So you can just write a command into a chatbot to design your report the same way as this other report, or you can let non-technical users explore the data a bit more. So they can write questions to the chatbot, and the chatbot would answer to them. So I think it's great for user adoption because it's one of those, like even if you build a full-scale Power BI uh, data analytics report, it's only useful if there is adoption from the company. And having like AI at your fingertips, being able to answer your questions immediately, I think that that helps a lot.
That's quite
But yeah,
Yeah, that's quite
um,
insightful. Eugene, you've had a career in which you've been a freelancer. You've also been a full-time employee, and now you're a full-fledged entrepreneur, right? So, what do you believe are some personal qualities or habits that have contributed most to your success?
I think it's the qualities and habits that you need. Um, like they're different depending on the stage of your career. So I think when you just start in, like what you need is like willingness to work hard and like determination to just like keep going even if you don't see the results. But like at some point, I feel you need to exit this mentality because at some point, more work does not equal more results. So I think um, maybe for your first year or like this period of very quick growth, for like from zero to like some point where you feel it's slowing down, like that's the period where you just need this like work hard mentality and determination. But once you see that the growth is slowing down, at this point you can't make yourself work like ridiculously long hours because then you will not have any good ideas to uh, like how to grow the company. So at some point you start growing the company because uh, you have good ideas and not because you put more work and hours into it. So I think at that point, the most important thing is to start learning the things that you don't know and like be really honest with yourself, what you don't know, and just look for resources to learn what you're missing. I think one horrible piece of advice that I was following for a long time is that you shouldn't try to learn um, like you shouldn't try to learn new skills yourself. Instead, like you hire somebody uh, who is really good at those skills and you use them. But you cannot effectively manage a process that you don't understand. Like you need uh, like if this process is important to grow the company, I think you need to learn it yourself and be able to lead the process. And especially all the business development processes, I think like one of my principles right now is to never outsource marketing because I've tried it many times and like at no point it worked. So right now, like I've forced myself to learn search engine optimization and like social media and blog post writing and YouTube videos because um, yeah, like don't expect anyone else to do this for you. Like uh if you're an entrepreneur and you start and like you you should be the person uh doing all the business development work, not like outsourced agencies or you know even people you hire, they need your direction. So you need to be like setting the vision for how you develop the company. So yeah.
That's well said. I think that's really good advice there. And my next question actually aligns with advice because you come from a family of entrepreneurs. What advice would you like to give to budding, aspiring business leaders and entrepreneurs?
Um, so I think if you just planning to start your business, I think uh the first thing is to um, so a thought that helped me was that you don't need much to start a business. You need a skill and you need to be able to sell this skill. Like that's literally all you need. You don't need that much funding. Like all you need is your laptop, your time, and pretty much anyone can start. So um, the main thing is to um, look at your background and try to understand what is it that I'm good at, and that's basically can be your service. So yeah, for me, for example, so um I was working in finance. I then got masters in business analytics. So I thought to myself, I can be a financial analyst, and that led me to my job in Autodesk. And then I thought to myself, I have uh, I have experience in running an agency. I have experience in analytics, so I can be running a data analytics agency. So I think it will be different for every person, but I think before you start a business, just try to think about your background and it needs to align with the business that you started. So, uh, like for me, for example, it would be uh, like with my background, it would be naive to start like a clothing company because I know nothing about it. But my background aligns with the business I'm in right now, and that's why it works. Um, so yeah, and I think um, just try in different areas of business, like a lot of different areas until you find the one that you really like. is very important as well. So I like in the early stages of my career, I had jobs in like finance, marketing, like I was doing like operations. So I was really trying like a lot of things to see what it is that I like. And yeah, obviously not everyone like has this much flexibility. I think for me as a university student, I was able to do it. And if you're in this position, then like definitely try a lot of different business areas. Um, but yeah, like maybe if you're a little bit further in your career, like you've had some years of experience, maybe just look at your background and see what you're actually good at. So yeah.
That's true wisdom right there. And I truly believe that, you need very little to start, but taking the first step is very important. So, yeah, thank you for highlighting that as well. So, my
Yeah.
last question to you is we'll talk about the future, about your vision. So, what is the vision for your company in the next 5 to 10 years?
So my vision, so right now we are basically a consultancy that does software. In 5 to 10 years, I want to be a software company that does consultancy. So I think that business model is a lot more sustainable. As a consultancy, you always have the stress of where do I find the new client and where is my next project is going to come from. But with software, it's a lot different. So you focus more on customer retention and trying to help them to get most value from your software. So, and you can help them get most value through consultancy projects. So I think that's basically the direction I want to go. Another so another reason why I want to go that direction is because we can we can provide um, like this is actually a competitive advantage. This is how we'd be different from other companies because we'd have the software that um, we own for extracting data from different sources. So we'd know this data better than anyone else. And at the same time, if we need to customize the software to fulfill like a project requirement for our customers, would have full control over those customizations. I've I've worked on many projects where I was using third-party connectors. I had to deal with customer support, and in some situations, it was uh, like the support ticket was open for a month, and like interestingly, the client didn't like the client put all the responsibility on me as a consultant instead of the software company that we were using. So like as a consultant, you're the one like dealing with client the most. So it's yeah, like from client's perspective, it's always your responsibility. So I feel the only way you can really fulfill that responsibility is if you are responsible for the software that you're using. So that's why we want to develop our software further so we can have full control over the client experience. Um, so yeah, I think that's basically where we're going. So we want to add more data sources to our data connectors platform. We want to do more like create more standard solutions that we'd be able to deploy for our clients when they need this. And uh, yeah, I think that's what ultimately would give us competitive advantage.
That sounds ambitious right there. So
Uh,
Eugene, this brings us to the end of this interview. So I just want to thank you for sharing your experiences and all of the insights with us. And I think we look forward to seeing how Vidi Corporation continues to evolve and shape the future of data analytics. You're a fantastic entrepreneur, and I wish you all the best with your company ahead.
Much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Take care.